Welcome to our channel, BritNews Update. We're looking at a story that, well, it still feels a bit unbelievable. The Blenheim Palace gold toilet heist.
Ah, yes, the solid gold loo. There have been some recent developments, specifically with convictions.
Exactly. Two men have now been jailed, according to a recent BBC News report. It was quite something, wasn't it? September 2019.
It really was an art exhibition at Blenheim Palace, and the centerpiece, well, it was quite the target.
Tell us about the toilet itself. I mean, it sounds like something out of a film.
It sort of does. It was an artwork called America by Maurizio Catalan. And yes, an 18-carat, solid gold, fully working toilet.
Solid gold. Wow. How much are we talking, value-wise?
Well, the BBC report mentioned it was insured for 4.8 million pounds. That's about $6 million US.
Oh.
And heavy too, 98 kilograms.
98 kilos. That's what, over 200 pounds?
Just about, yeah, 216 pounds, so not easy to just walk away with.
And yet they did it incredibly quickly.
Amazingly fast. The judge actually called it a bold and brazen heist. The report says it took, get this, no more than 5.5 minutes to complete.
5.5 minutes to rip out a solid gold toilet.
Exactly. Plumbed in and everything. Caused a lot of damage. Flooding, too. It implies some serious planning.
So who finally faced the music for this?
Right. The report confirms two men are now behind bars. James Sheen, Jimmy Sheen, and Michael Jones.
Okay, Sheen and Jones. What did they get convicted of, specifically?
Well, Sheen pleaded guilty. His charges were burglary, transferring criminal property, basically, handling the stolen gold, and conspiracy.
Right, and his sentence.
He got 4 years. But, and this is key, it's to be served after a sentence he's already doing. He's got another 19 years for other things.
Wow, okay. So this adds to quite a stretch inside. And Michael Jones.
Jones was found guilty of burglary back in March. He received 2 years and 3 months.
So what were their actual roles? How did the police connect them to ripping out a golden loo?
Well, Sheen seems to have been, central to it all. Police described him as a key player, the driving force. He's got links to organized crime.
And the evidence.
Pretty solid, it seems. His DNA was on a sledgehammer found there.
Ah, the sledgehammer. Makes sense.
Yes, and they found tiny gold fragments in his clothes, plus incriminating messages on his phone. He wasn't exactly subtle afterwards.
And Jones, what was his part in the plan?
Jones's role, according to the BBC report, was more about reconnaissance, scouting the place out.
Reconnaissance? How?
He visited Blenheim Palace twice, just before the heist, and, the day before it happened, he actually booked a time slot to use the gold toilet.
He used it the day before stealing it.
He did. He even took photos inside the cubicle of the toilet itself and the door lock. He apparently told the court the experience was splendid.
Splendid. You couldn't make it up. So they weren't exactly criminal masterminds if they left trails like that.
Well, they certainly left evidence. Those phone messages Sheen had were quite revealing, even though they tried using code words.
Code words? Like what?
The report mentions they used car when talking about the gold. Police had to figure that out.
Did they manage to shift any of the gold? Did they actually profit?
Sheen did, yes. Apparently quite quickly, too. Within about 2 weeks, he'd sold off 20 kilograms of it.
20 kilos. So a fair chunk.
Yeah, about a fifth of the toilet's weight. He got 520,000 pounds for it from someone in Birmingham.
But the toilet itself,
Yeah,
is it still missing?
still missing. No sign of it. Or the rest of the gold. That's the big question. Where did it end up?
Now, the report mentioned CCTV saw 5 men during the actual break-in. Sheen and Jones makes 2. Does that mean others involved are still out there?
That seems to be the case, yes. 5 men seen, so potentially 3 or maybe 4 others directly involved in the burglary itself might still be unidentified or, well, not caught.
Do the police have leads?
They think they know who 2 of them are, according to the report. It was a big investigation, actually. 12 people were arrested over the whole thing.
12. But only 4 charged.
That's right. Only 4 met the standard needed for charges. Besides Sheen and Jones, there was Fred Doe.
What happened with him?
He was convicted of conspiring to sell the gold, but got a suspended sentence earlier this year. And then a 4th person, Bora Gukuk, a jeweler, was cleared of the same charge.
Right. So it's a complex picture. Still some loose ends.
Definitely. Police are still appealing for information on the others involved and, of course, the location of America.
It's just such a bizarre target, isn't it? A solid gold toilet. You'd think it would be impossible to get rid of.
You would, wouldn't you? Extremely distinctive. Melting it down is risky, yet they managed to sell a significant part. It's quite the story.
Absolutely. And the big question remains, will that golden throne ever turn up again, or has it vanished for good? Makes you wonder. Goodbye. See you next video.